To start with, we want to get our shin and the top of our foot up against the wall. So we're in that position there, get our knee as close to the wall as we can, then we're going to take a step forward and come up nice and tall. Just squeeze your bum together, and we're just going to hold in that position for about 30 seconds. So just holding that. If that is too difficult for you, then just get a smaller bench where we can do exactly the same stretch, just foot up, and then we're holding in that position like so. So just continue holding in that position. 30 seconds, and we'll switch that over. 10 to go. And just switching legs onto the other side. Same deal. Just get your shin as close to the wall as we can. Top of your foot, we want up against the wall as well. Try and get your bum as close to your heel. Squeeze your bum together. We'll get a really big stretch through the hip flexor there. And we're just holding here, 30 seconds. Good, 10 to go. We're just going to move into some squat holds now. So what we need you to do is just using something to lean on. I want you to come up onto your toes, and we're going to squat down as low as we can. We're going to stay in that squat position, and then I just want you to come up onto your tippy toes and then all the way back down. Get your heels as close to the ground as we can, but I don't want your heels to touch the ground. So we're just coming up and down from there. If we can do this without using our hands, even better, but if not, we can just won't need that much support on this one. Just coming up and down like so. Just want 10 reps or thereabouts. Like so. Now we're going to stay in this squat position for a while. So if you need to stand up and come out of it, that's fine. And then we'll come back into it when your legs have had a bit of a rest. So what we want to do from that point there is back into the squat position, elbows into the side of the knees, push those knees out as far as we can, and just sink into that squat as deep as we can. Now, if we're struggling to get into that position, we might put our heels up. It might be weight plates, whatever you've got floating around. Doesn't need to be that high. If we're really struggling to get into that position, we can use a pole where we're just holding in that same position. And now what we want to do is just drive your toes into the ground as hard as we can. I want you to lean as far as we can across to the right-hand side, and then as far as we can across to the left-hand side. So we want to get that stretch, just switching that over, that stretch through the back of through the Achilles, through the back of the ankle, just switching that over the other side. We'll do this 3 times on each side, just switch that over again. And last one. Good, and then from that point, we just want to grab your opposite ankle with your opposite hand, and then with your other hand reaching up towards the ceiling and looking at that hand, and then switching that over. I'm just going to do 3 of these each side, switch that over again. And again, 1 more each side. Good, and if we need to use that pole, we can use that pole for support if we can't get into that squat very well. Last one. Good. Now, just from that position, we're just going to put our palms on the ground. We're going to get back into that squat position. But what I want you to do is just straighten those legs out as far as we can. Get that stretch through the hamstrings. Back down. Get the chest up nice and high. And repeat. Up. Stretch through the hamstrings. Back down. Chest up. And again. So we're going to do 6 of these. Back down. Halfway there. Bum up, stretch through the hamstrings, fold back down. Good, 2 more to go. Up, stretch, back down. Last one, up. And I just want you to keep your bum in the air. Just step back slightly. And then I just want you to drop one heel to the ground, get that stretch through the calf, and then just drop the other heel to the ground. So we're just going side to side, nice and slow, nice and controlled, just from one foot to the other. Back to that other foot. So it's just nice and controlled. Stretch through the calf and just switching from leg to leg. Couple more each side. Good, and just get you standing up. So what we're gonna do, just go pretty wide in our stance. And we're gonna get as low as we can over one side. And I wanna get this stretch through this groin. And then we're gonna stay low, go across to the other side. So we're just going side to side on this one. And I just wanna do 5 reps each side on this, nice and slow, nice control. Just stay as low as we can so we're not coming up and over. We're going straight from side to side, like so. We just want one more each side. And last one. Good. And then from that position, what we're going to do is just go as wide as we can with our feet. I want you to squeeze through your quads, so we straighten those legs right out. And then what I want you to do is just fold down as low as we can. Try and get your head as close to the ground as we can. Try not to take too much weight through your hands, so try and get big stretch through the groin on this one. As low as we can. Just holding here. Good, and then what we're going to do is just take a seat from that position there. Want our feet about a bit wider than hip width apart, just 90 degrees through the knees, and I want you to drop both knees over to one side, and I want you to spin around in that same direction, and then we're going to go over, across to the other side, spin around in that same direction. So we're just going side to side. I just want 5 each side. If this is a bit difficult for you, you can pop your hands behind. Once you get your knees to one side, just rotate through that as far as we can. Back, rotate through as far as we can. Got 2 more each side. And 1 more each side. And we're just going to hold over to the right hand side. And what I want you to do, both knees on the ground, I want you to try and get your head as close to your right foot as we can. We're just going to hold that stretch for a bit, not too long. Just get a bit of a glute stretch. And swapping that over, other side. Same deal. Get both knees to the ground. Just try and get your head as close to your front foot as we can. Good, and we're just going to move over or roll over into a push-up position. So up on the toes, if that's a bit hard for you to hold, we just want to be off the knees. But what we're going to do is keep those arms as straight as you can, so there's no movement through the elbows. We're just going shoulder blades together and then shoulder blades apart. So we're just working through the shoulder blades. So it's pushing them together or closing them together as close as we can, and then pushing them away as far as we can. So we just want 10 of these. Just remember to keep your chin tucked in, so we're not reaching with our head. Chin tucked in. Couple more here. Good. And then I just want you to lie on the ground. What we're going to do, elbows directly out from our shoulders, forearms straight ahead. And keep your elbows on the ground. Make a fist with your hands. I want you to bring your fists up as high as we can. Squeeze through the fists and then fold back down from there. So it's up, squeeze, and release. Just 10 of these. And the trick with this is just make sure those fists don't drift into your head. So when we're coming up, they're not coming up there. They're keeping out nice and wide and back down from there. Couple more. Good. And I just want you to bring your hands to your shoulders. Squeeze those shoulder blades together as close as we can. And then we're going to push those hands straight out in front. So it's in, squeeze together, push out in front. In, squeeze together, push out in front. Like so. Just after 10 of these. Good. And then just from that point, just want 10 push-ups. So you can do this off the toes, off the knees. Doesn't have to be too difficult. Just to get a bit of blood flow through the arms. And then a bit of blood flow through the legs. Just get 10 squats out. And we're into the program.